Hello everyone, so in this particular video we will be dealing with how we can start with text and other related things in machine learning, deep learning and data science. So basically in data science, so how to deal with the text problems that we have in let's say the entire data science. So this video will basically give you a roadmap into how to get started and what are the things that you should do and in which order. Okay, so obviously first we'll start always with the basics, and here we will do our basics using the NLTK library. Okay, so there are other libraries as well, but I personally use NLTK. And what are the things that we're going to do in that? So first we'll start with tokenization. So there are two types. There is word tokenization and there is sentence tokenization. Okay, so first we do sentence tokenization, after that we do word tokenization of that. Fine. um, After that is done, you can do stemming and lemmatization. They are basically almost the same thing. Stemming is basically, taking a word, let's say running. Okay, and what is the root word of this? It is run. Okay, let's for example take the word runs. Okay, he runs. So what is the root word? Again it is run. Okay, so basically all the types there, all the different terms are there of the same word in different figure of speech, and then you get the root word of that. Similarly, you have a lemmatization, which is, let's say, an improved version of stemming. After that, you have basic text cleaning, for example removing stop words, or you want to remove let's say extra spaces, or you want to remove numbers. Okay, or you want to remove links. So basically there can be so many types of things in a text data. So let's say you want to remove these particular things. Then is parts of speech tagging. So basically whether a word is a verb or it's a noun or it's an adjective, this can definitely be helpful in some kind of text processing, or maybe as an input as features for your neural networks or any machine learning deep learning algorithm. After that, what you can do, you can study about n-grams as well. Okay, so this is something we will do some video, because it's an interesting topic. Okay, so these are the things that we can start with. Definitely there can be more, but I think this much should suffice. After your basics are done, you can easily turn to sklearn. Why we can do that? Because most of these things are actually coded already in sklearn. So you can learn about what is one hot encoding, or you can also use bag of words. Then you can also learn TF-IDF. So these three basically are used to represent text in form of numbers. Okay, and why we are doing this? Because computer cannot understand text, it can only understand numbers. Okay, our algorithms can only understand numbers, it cannot understand text, and hence we need to find a way to convert text to numbers, and these are basically the ways by which we do it. Okay, after that you can use any algorithm. I have written here logistic regression, you can use SVM, you can use decision trees, you can use whatever. Okay, basically to do classification and other things. Let's say this is done. So one example can be, let's say you have a data set with examples. Okay, so let's say this is a review, this is a positive review, this is the negative review, this is again positive, this is again positive. So you convert all of this in either one hot encoding format or bag of words or TF-IDF, and then feed it to a, let's say, linear regression algorithm, and then do multi-class classification or binary classification, in this case binary classification. Okay, after having done this, what you can do is you can enter into something called as word embeddings. Okay, so there are two famous type, one is GloVe and one is WordNet. WordNet is something that I have already covered. GloVe I will cover sometime later. You can do this, and this is basically you're going to be the start of your deep learning, because in the first step you basically do embedding. Okay, in deep learning, whenever you're given sentences, after tokenization you do embedding. So this is your word embeddings. So once this part is clear, you can start with RNNs and LSTM. Okay, so in PyTorch there are implementations like nn.rnn and nn.lstm. Okay, which basically means you don't have to implement anything from scratch. You basically are given a API, so you use, let's say, nn.rnn. You specify the input size and the hidden layer size, and then you can input the your, let's say, your output. Also you can input here the output of the word embedding. Okay, so word embedding can be here, and then you will get some output like this. Same story here for LSTM. You basically, instead of NNN, RNN, you write LSTM, and the same story goes for LSTM RNN itself. Now, one thing you need to remember is these kind of models don't have a lot of power, so you can't expect very high quality of results, but you can do simple text classification, okay, or even sometimes even generation you can do. So these things are something that you can create. You can also create chatbot if you want. You can do so many things. Okay, we'll get to the type of things that we can do in text using those. After that, we need to get into something that is purely deep learning transformer types, but not fully using transformer, because that is, we are not at this, that is step number 5, we are not capable of doing a transformer from scratch. So what we are going to do, we are going to take a simple problem which is like sentiment analysis. It can be, let's say, Twitter data, or IMBD, movies review data, whatever it is. So basically classification that we did in the I think number 3 or number 2, or yeah, number 3 I think. No, number 2 basically. Okay, in logistic regression, we will be doing here in using BERT. So BERT is a pre-trained model. Okay, BERT is a pre-trained model, which basically it's a big model, transformer based model. So here you give the input in the, let's say, word embedding form, and here you can get one output, whether it is positive or negative. Let's say for Twitter, whether the, let's say, for a certain comment is positive comment or negative comment, or if this is a movie review data, then it is a positive review or negative review. All those things, basic classification you can do using BERT. Once you are done with that, you can move to the sixth step, and here you can explore all the different things that are there in text processing when it comes to deep learning. Okay, so there is machine translation, there is named entity recognition, then there is question answering. So basically what happens in machine translation is, let's say from English you want to go to, let's say, Spanish. Okay, so you can do that. In named entity recognition, you can say, let's say you have a word like Ron. So what is this? This is a this is the name of a person. Okay, but let's say you are having a word like let's say California. Okay, so this is California is a name of a state in the US. So this is a name of a person, this is a name of a state, so something like that. Then question answering is basically you're given a context, that is a, let's say, a paragraph, and according to that paragraph you are asked a question, and you will take the paragraph, you will take the question, merge them together, and then pass it to the model of a question answering model. It will give you the answer which is already there in the paragraph. So this is what you can do. Then text summarization is some simple. You have an article, let's say, and then you ask the model to summarize it into a smaller article or a small summarization. Lastly, you can also, if you are interested in audio processing as well, then you can do text to speech. This might be a little bit involved, because it will be a little bit of a big project. There are, okay, for all of these, all these, at least these 4 you have. Hugging Face and other solutions are already there, which means even if you don't want to implement anything or train anything, you can definitely go, and with 2 or 3 lines you can get that functionality. Text to speech, again, there are ways of doing it. So there are let's say Google APIs are there, and all the cloud providers, they provide an API basically, or you can even create by yourself. There are many ways of doing it. We will see that after some time. Okay, so let's say this one is done, and this is not even an exhaustive list. Okay, all these deep learning topics, there can be many over here. 6 can be 6, 7, 8, and so on and so forth. Okay, now for the 7th one, what you can do now, you can enter into the attention mechanisms. Okay, so attention is not only used in transformers. Yes, transformers do use attention, but attention can also be used in LSTM and RNNs as well. But mostly when we think about attention mechanisms, we are thinking about transformers. So which means you can build, now here you can start actually getting into some complicated topics like GPTs. Okay, GPT-2, 3, whatever, they are basically training next word prediction on your own. Basically, if you have the compute and data, you can do that. You can also build chatbots can be of any level. You can have a simple chatbot, let's say, which is using if and else, to a very complicated chatbot such as an LLM. Okay, so let your chat GPT, very complicated, but uh, works on the same principle. Okay, after having done all of this, you can say that you have covered almost the entire sphere, because now you're already come up to the chat gpt level. But let's say if you want to do other things as well, you can do simple things like topic modeling, in which you don't really require deep learning as such, but you can use this in as a increment for your knowledge in deep learning. After that, what you can do, you can create search engines basically. So you might have seen the Bing AI. Basically, you give a question, and based on a let's say, not a particular search engine as an indexing search engine, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the newer version. So basically you have the entire internet over here, and then you ask a question, the context becomes the entire internet, and then it gives you an answer which is relevant. So these are the things, and this is the roadmap that you need to follow. And I hope you like the video. If you really like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and bye.